And welcome back, everyone, to What If Week. And this week, What If, I'll admit, I think it's Terry Gibson who gave me this one, but I'll fully admit that I might need to, I don't have the paper right in front of me with the name, so I might have to go and check that. If I'm wrong about Terry Gibson, I'll just make sure to put it in the comments, in the description, who gave me the suggestion. But you asked the question, whoever you may be, what if Piccolo was able to actually have Zenkai boosts? What if he could get Zenkai boosts? Now, this isn't about whether Namekians get Zenkai boosts. Specifically because we know that Namekians, at least Piccolo demonstrated this, they get like micro increases. And that's indicated with the official power level that I sent you, where Piccolo, after the fight with Raditz, when he had his suppression gear and his way to close back on, actually did have a small jump in his power level. It was like minuscule. It was nowhere near like a Goku jump, but it was like a 1 or 2% in buff. But the question then is, what if Piccolo, and this is just what if Piccolo, let's be fair. What if Piccolo could get legitimate Zenkai boost? What if Zenkai wasn't just relegated to Saiyan the physiology, but to Namekian as well? So that's what we're looking at today. So let's actually start this off where it would really start off, and that is after the Raditz fight. Now, after the Raditz fight, or I should say, before the Raditz fight, Piccolo's power was right around 408. Goku's around 412. I believe I got that right. Am I thinking it's 412, 416 or something like that? I think it was like 412, 48, respectively for Goku and Piccolo. We'll go with 408. Because otherwise, really, it's not going to change that much if I go like 8 points high or whatever. Let's say 408. Then, so if we're going with a standard Zenkai after he lost an arm, had to regrow it, and everything along those lines, then we'd be looking at a power somewhere around the lines of about 510. So then he takes Gokon, trains him. Now we know Piccolo was able to multiply his power by about 8 times. But that's because he probably could have multiplied it more during that train. It's just he had to train Gohan as well. So if we go 8 times that, now you're looking at a power level of, roughly speaking, 4,080. So when Nappa and Vegeta come around, this changes things up quite a bit. But not as much as you might think. And what do I mean by that? Here's what happens. Cybermen come, Piccolo easily handles them. So then it's basically the same thing that happened last time. All the Z fighters are facing off against Nappa. Excuse me, I'm just adjusting. Oh, that's good. Are facing off against Nappa. But Piccolo specifically, when he and Nappa go toe-to-toe, he's actually barely edging out Nappa. He's actually stronger than Nappa, and that shows in the fight. He's actually able to push Nappa much harder and much farther, and actually able to get some legitimate punches. He takes a lot of lickies too, but he's able to actually go in and really push him, which drags the fight on a lot longer, and also keeps individuals like Chaozu and Tien alive longer as well. Unfortunately, what this also does is cause Vegeta to say, Nappa, stop fooling around, stop messing around, you fool. Finish his Namekian off. As he actually gets power. He's actually barely outmatching you, even in your suppressed form. What, suppressed form? Yeah. I guess I got no choice now. You really put up a good fight, so to give you respect, I'm going to give you a quick death. Powers up to his full 7,500. And let's keep this in mind. I still don't know how this freaking math worked out in terms of power levels. Piccolo in the original one was 3,500 to Nappa's 4,000. Still was getting his ass kicked. But, so, it's just a 500 power level gap. Anyway. Good, but now Piccolo. Now Nappa has a far bigger gap now in this version than he did with Piccolo when he was suppressed in the original. And Piccolo was still getting his ass kicked in that one. So, so now it really does go back to the same old. To the point where, yes, he does have to step in and save Gohan. And he does still end up dying. So we have to now fast forward all the way to the Namekian saga. Now, if we're talking about Zenkai from dying, assuming you get that, then Piccolo would be somewhere around 5,500. That's where I'd put him at. Then you factor in the training and fusing with Nail. I would put him right around third form Frieza. So when he shows up, not only is he beating down second form Frieza, he is damn near about to kill him. but second form Frieza barely survives it. Because let's be honest, both Vegeta and Piccolo both not only underestimated Frieza, but both played around Frieza. Those freaking idiots, those arrogant fools decided to be like, oh no, we're going to teach you a lesson before we kill you. Well, guess what? That bit you in the ass. But here's the thing about this version. Piccolo, yes, he does the same thing, kind of teaches him a lesson, gets the revenge, and then Frieza transforms to his third form. But as I just said, Piccolo's about equal to Frieza's third form. So that fight is still a dead even heap, which causes Frieza then transform, put Piccolo down temporarily. Dende will heal him up. Vegeta will try to show off. I would pick Piccolo actually right around Goku's level in the power at this point, in terms of his Zenkai. Now, same physiology. Let's keep it this way. Same physiology, the Zenkais can jump out of control. I'm keeping Piccolo's at a base, kind of either 25 to 30%, maybe a 50, all depending on the circumstance. Just because it's a different type of system, and we can make an argument that Namekian physiology is different. But storytelling wise, it would just get so complicated so fast. And that's a lot of information to keep track of. And I wanted to keep this one as a one-shot, which we're clearly going to be in that time frame for a one-shot. So Piccolo and Goku can actually both sense each other and say, Piccolo, you've really improved. I could say the same for you. I've actually been able to even you out for a change, Goku. And then they've actually tag team Frieza. And remember, when Frieza goes to his 50% of his power, you'll completely outmatch him. But they're tag teaming this guy, and they're actually really like dishing out the damage. Goku then says like, Piccolo, hold up on that. Dende's dead at this point, by the way. As keep whatever strength you have. We'll need you at the end. But I need to take this guy on myself. So he continues to fight by himself. It goes the exact same. Piccolo, get that one kick into Frieza's like, I put all my energy into that kick. But since he was since he was beating me around so bad, I'm sure you'll be fine. Did you just hold a grudge? So ultimately, it does go about the same. Like Goku, he gets blasted by Frieza, barely lives, but gets blasted by Frieza. Goku goes Super Saiyan, yada, yada, yada. So now we have to actually fast forward to the Android saga. Now, when they're training for the androids, this is a big thing. When we're training for the androids, Piccolo is capable of getting Zenkai similar to Goku. And that, I think, actually boosts Goku's training up a little bit, because Piccolo is getting stronger much faster, much quicker than he did in the original, which means he's able to even Goku out quite a bit. Goku also gets a bit of a boost, too. Now, where does Piccolo stand in the Android saga? Well, in the within the original Android saga, he was stronger than Gero. We actually can know that because he won up Gero. He beat him, flat out beat him. And Gero is theoretically, I don't think it's ever stated if he's actually stronger than 19, but it's implied that he's stronger than Android 19. That he was the one even though he started for Gero, he was the one that pulled the strings, so he was the stronger of the two. So if we're to put him a little stronger, I'll actually put him at we'll put him at Super Saiyan Goku level, but heart disease Super Saiyan Goku, where he's not as strong as he is at full capacity. Which means that, and that tells me, by the way, that Goku was still stronger than Vegeta, even as a Super Saiyan. Piccolo makes a comment at one point that, he's as strong as Goku. But remember, Goku was suffering from a heart virus at that point. That tells me Goku is still stronger. And plus, he gets to survive a Zenkai boost from the heart virus, even though I'm sure Vegeta got Zenkai as well from that ass kicking he got. So they end up going and they try to stop the androids. Gero wakes up 17 and 18. They wake up 16. They all get their ass kicked. Gets another bit of a Zenkai, but then goes fuses with Kami, which puts them, I would say, probably at imperfect cell levels. Imperfect cell levels, and I mean imperfect cell when he goes to the island for their fight, which means Piccolo trumps 17 power-wise, as well, maybe not trumps, but he's well above 17 power-wise, as well as Perfect Cell when they first meet. So when they first meet, he actually kind of wrecks Cell's shit just a little bit. Cell still tricks his way out of there, strings some Piccolo's arm. Then Piccolo at 17 will end up fighting. Piccolo is actually pretty much in control of that fight, but because of the infinite engine thing, Piccolo is tiring out quite a bit. And then Cell shows up. Now, even though Piccolo is much more tired in this, is tired in this version, he's still much stronger in this version, which means he has more gas in the tank still than he did in the initial one. So he's actually able to hold off Cell quite a bit longer than what happened in this one. In fact, he's probably actually able to do a little bit of damage to Cell in this one. But ultimately, Cell would still beat him, absorb 17. And now we get to the point where Piccolo sadly becomes a bit irrelevant again. Not to say that he still wouldn't get some good Zenkai boosts, like when Cell nearly kills him, he gets a pretty chunky Zenkai from that. Still wouldn't be able to match Perfect Cell. Or semi-perfect Cell, quite frankly. But then he goes into the hyperbolic time chamber, trains for a little bit, but he ditched out of there early. At this point, the opponents are just getting too strong, and he just can't keep up. But cut to 7 years later, during the time skip, you could make an argument that he's hit perfect Super Saiyan Goku levels. Like a level that if he were to go against Perfect Cell, he could go toe-to-toe for a while with Perfect Cell if they were to fight. Perfect Cell would probably still beat him, but he would definitely be able to hold his own a bit better. Ultimately, though, Piccolo didn't play a huge part in the Buu saga. He played an important role, but he didn't play a really important fighting role. So, and even if he got like a bunch of Zenkais at this point, Buu and those kind of characters completely overshadow him. Same for like most of the Super arc, though he probably is able to handle Frost a lot easier. In fact, he'd probably make Frost his bitch, except for Frost with cheat. So, that happens. So really what you do then is cut all the way now to the Tournament of Power, where Piccolo has a much better chance against a lot of the other opponents. I think, well, that was weird. I think that what would end up happening is he would still get knocked out. He would not be one of the last man standing, but he wouldn't be knocked out by some dirty shot from Universe 4. He'd probably be knocked out by, if I were to be the betting man here, he probably would be one of the guys who gets knocked out by Oniraza. I think he's the one who kind of sit along with 18, although he probably does one last ditch effort with like a special beam cannon, but ultimately it doesn't do much. So ultimately Piccolo, what does a Zenkai boost Piccolo add to the series? Well, at least in my opinion, not a whole lot, but he definitely evens out a lot of the fights just a bit. He doesn't win the fights, unfortunately, but he does vie for more time. He plays his part and he plays it well. Ultimately, though, I don't think Piccolo. It's just because Piccolo, from what we see from the power boosts later on in the series, is not. I don't want to say irrelevant. That's not a fair thing. His power becomes. He's a second tier character on the Z Fighters, or a level character when it comes to the Z Fighters, and I mean second tier in the sense that Vegeta, Goku, and if Gohan is on his game that day, they're the A tier. B tier would be Piccolo. Like he would probably, like you take those three out of the equation, he's the strongest guy on Earth. But then of course you get this androids, and then you can make those arguments. Although I fully believe Piccolo is stronger than 18 at this point in time. Even though 18 and 17 demonstrate they can get stronger, the androids. I fully believe that he could probably easily beat 18. He might be able to beat 17. We don't know how much stronger either of them got compared to each other. We know 17 could go toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Goku. And Goku only went Super Saiyan Blue because he didn't want to accidentally kill him, which, again, tells me that if he went Super Saiyan 3, he would have killed him by mistake. Because Super Saiyan 3's power is a lot more uncontrollable than something like Super Saiyan Blue. Because that's about ki control, so he can control his power level. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this What If. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time tomorrow for another What If. Later, folks.